This is Dinesh. I'm a CISO of Veritas Finance, and I would request our panelists to introduce themselves. Take 2 minutes of time, please. Yeah.
So good evening, everyone. I am Saravanakumar Krishnamurthy. I am working in Vivriti Capital and Vivriti Asset Management as a Chief Information Security Officer. I am coming up with around 21 years of experience, almost more than a decade in the banking industries, and currently I take care of the entire information security portfolio in the organization. Apart from the professionally, I connect more in the networkings and everything. So I am part of the CA Association Chennai chapter, holding the Vice President post. And we do a lot of networking and sharing of the knowledge like this. So happy to be part of this Elets and like to share a lot of inputs with you guys.
Hi, myself Nagarjun. I am currently working as a CTO and Aliceblue Funnel Services. I'm having more than 10 years of experience. I'm running AI lead innovative technologies and at the same time implementing 0 to 100 security solutions in our end. At the same time, I'm successfully implemented in ISO 27001 and then 27018 and BCMS.
Thank you. So this is Srinivasan here. I come with 18 years of experience, so becoming a major this year, or minor in terms of professional experience. Being a security engineer and then probably into product management, product implementation, governance, compliance, security, audit, and now into the audit, third line of defense. So being a thief and now a police, and looking forward for the cloud implementation strategies, discussions for today. Nice to meet you.
Good evening, everyone. This is Lydia De Salma. I am into model risk management. I have 11 years of experience into risk management in banking. I'm currently with HSBC, and I'm glad to join a group of specialists in cybersecurity domain, though I'm not nearby that. Honored to be here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, team. So.
Glad to see you, Dinesh. You are in the moderator, please. And expecting you to be in a very soft corner answer.
Right. Okay. Fine. Sure. All right. I start with my question with Lydia. Yeah. So now since we are
starting with the ladies first.
Thank you.
So since we are going to talk about the cybersecurity and the cloud, right? The challenges what the organizations are facing now, right? So I just want to know, how can we ensure the organizations, can ensure the data privacy, because that plays a very vital role in modern days, right? So while we are moving into a cloud default prediction of the customers, so please, your views.
Yeah, I think thanks for the question. Very burning topic this day, how to ensure data privacy, especially when you're moving data into the cloud, right? So when it comes to customers, I think protecting customer data is of vital importance, right? And how can we ensure that customer data privacy is protected at the same time NBFCs are running their business successfully? So what we can do is obviously to take the customer consent before using the data for whatever purpose, even for risk modeling, we have to ensure that there is a consent from the customers. Next, what we do in risk assessment is we mask the data or we tokenize the data. So maybe using non-sensitive tokens for customer raw information, such as Aadhaar information, PAN card information is very helpful to protect the customer data. Next is basically the minimization of the data. So we don't want to put in a lot of PII attributes into our models, which can, threaten the customer data security. So in that case, customer data minimization plays an important role. And lastly, access controls, which we put a lot of emphasis on during our day-to-day modeling exercise, where a lot of encryption has to be done in terms of where data is stored, who has access to it, a lot of password protection to the files, and to minimize any errors or accidental updates to the data.
Right. So you mentioned encryption words, because we believe that the last the protection layer is encryption, because the first layer of the protection always plays our security devices, right? Our firewall and the other devices, right? So in case if any device's first layer is missing, then we get this will get struck up in encryption. This will help us in the data protection layer, right?
Yeah.
And so in data privacy, the first thing is we should know where is our data, correct? Whether it is in on-prem or whether it is in a cloud or it's in our database or it's in our servers. and we should classify our data, like, what is our the PII data, what is our PII, or the intellectual property, and what is our financial data. Then you can protect the data, like Lydia said. You can encrypt, and you can also enable role-based access control. Also, you can enable to protect your data, especially when it comes into the data protection. So you said, like, everybody is moving to cloud, but the most of the organizations, when it comes to cloud, I pay $10 to get the storage in cloud, but when it comes to data retention, backup, I pay 15 rupees. So when it comes to the budget, it's we are getting shock, and it's every organization is facing the same issues. So what's your view on this? And or anybody can answer it.
A company of our scale, 100+ year old company, and you think about how much of data we would have, and it's there everywhere in the entire estate. But now the approach is towards data reduction and data minimization. Get what you want and store what you want, and then have a good retention period across all your systems, not just your systems, your vendor systems also, right? And now if an employee joins in any organization, he gives his PII data, it gets stored in the HRMS SaaS platform or on-prem platform, goes to your background check verification vendor, he stores the data in his platform, then the subcontractor, it goes to him, then it again comes to organization as in a different format of saying it's a BGV report, again it contains PII data. But so the footprint is huge. So where do you want to arrest the data collection is from the first place where data gets stored, where you can mask it and store it by hashing, encryption, or whatever way. Then whatever data replicate from there will carry minimized risk, right? So wherever you can control the risk, control collection of data, that is where you will be able to see the returns and reduce the risk. No risk can be 0, no risk can be 100. How much you can control as per risk appetite, and she will know it better. Model risk management.
Right. Because always this is the most of the organization because facing this issue, because everybody is moving to the cloud, right? So, like, when it comes to data egress and data recovery and other things, the cost is increasing more. And I just wants to move to Mr. Krishnamurthy, right? So my question is to you is, how is integrating with the zero trust principle into the cloud-based architecture to minimize the risk in every touch points.
Yeah. So once again, good evening, everyone. And you would have attended a lot of sessions throughout the day to talk about the different things. Today, the entire panel is going to talk on a technology, so you can bear with it. And nothing to talk on more on AI, but to talk about the zero trust part. So basically, there is a point is already raised by the lady that we have to do a lot of level of segregation of the data. It's not one layer of the protection. So I like to recall the traditional way we say is the defense in depth model. So we need to protect the data in all the layers. So today there is no any perimeter. So it's a perimeterless organization. And we know we have a data, everything in the public cloud. So even though if you have in a public cloud, so you have to set up a native level of security controls around your networks. And apart from that, everything is going to, like Srini told, is more on a SaaS-based applications as we are handling it. And the API connections are everywhere is there to make a transactions and everything. So it's one size is not going to fit for at all. So the zero trust is concept of brought everything is don't trust anything. There is no need trust. That's where the zero trust is come into the picture. So we have to build an application security layer, a different layer of the part. First of all, you have to do it at the internally, how you are developing at the developer level, at the code level security. And once you move to the developer into the staging where you will identify the vulnerabilities, and this vulnerability should not be kicked out when you are an application completely going into the go live. And once it is available in the marketplace and it is completely giving you the business application platform, then there how we are going to protect all your threats. So the external threat attack surfaces where play a major role. So what are all the measures you have done? At the end of the day, your applications is in live. It's already in live at the dark web also immediately. So your data are parallelly going in the dark web. So you have to address and bring that visibility factor. Unless if you are not doing that, then whatever the controls you make, it's all a zero trust only.
Wonderful.
I'd like to
Wonderful.
add one more point here.
Yeah.
Zero trust is not a model or not a solvable thing. Zero trust is a framework. Everybody have to be implement. It's a continuous process. We can't stop it. Once we done, it's not going to stop. Because in trust framework, if you see, is bringing in one more visibility. There's a new parameter. We have to think about that. Like zero trust framework, what are the companies are trying to implement? There are need to think of 5 categories, 5 touch points. One is the identity management, access management, and then isolating the UAT and then production environments. If they are not differentiating that, it will be a headache for them. So anywhere the attacks can be occurred. So that time if the people who is having UAT access and then production access, they may do something wrong in that. So that again we have to see what's the microservices running there. So all the assets have to be clearly monitored and we have to isolate the data size and need to be separate the things from production than UATs. Then only we can able to think how we are going to achieve the zero trust framework.
Ultimately, the zero trust is trust no one.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So, yeah, again, my question to you, Nagarjun. So, how is approaching the cloud native transformation while managing data integrity, okay, and regulatory compliance in a brokerage of financial services places?
Because when we are thinking of client first applications, because we are nowadays people's NBFC or SEBI or broking financial services, they are working for clients. When we are going for client first application, we need a cloud adoption. So when we are saying cloud adoption, SEBI also comes with the framework that CSCRF and cloud adoption framework. Both frameworks have unique pointers where we have to take it as a control management systems. We have to ensure how we can achieve this clearly. Like in CSCRF policies, they are majorly looking for CCA index. When we are making CCA index, to maintain that, we have to have entire security management in place. Then only we are able to maintain the score of CCA index. So when the cloud adoption, we going to do it in our end. So that time, everywhere, whatever audit trials are required, when we are doing any changes, any patch managements, anything, we have to have clearly DAM solutions and then patch change management solutions in place to monitor that. Then after that, we have to ensure any program going live, we have to do regular audit trials. After audit trials, we have to ensure whether in audit trials any findings are there, whether we are closing it out properly or not. At the same time, after its audit trials is done, we have to see vulnerability assessment when we are doing any changes in like port modifications like that, we're doing it. So that time we have to ensure everything's handled or not. Then only we are able to say our cloud adoption in the CSCR policy, we are achieved or not.
Thanks.
Blankly, I'll say in one letter, whatever the regulatory bodies are giving, we have to address as a Bible.
Of course. No way, right? Right. So, Srinivasan, my question to you is, so what strategies, the organizations are now adopted to build breach resolution and incident response readiness across its branch and digital operations?
The first word comes to my mind is the risk appetite, right? Because companies will have risk appetite in terms of financial value, operational value, technology value, and information value, right? So all these appetite determine how much of resilience need to have for an organization. Now we know any company can undergo a breach, any company can undergo a disaster situation. Now the focus is how soon you can bounce back and go live to your normal operations. That is what is the key factor. Because either a company knows it has got attacked or you don't know, but you have got attacked. That is the primary thing, right? So here the aspect of doing a tabletop exercise on periodic basis, not just your IT, security and compliance, right? Even your senior management should be involved, right? From CXOs. So they should dictate or advise what are the key business risks which are there in the market and how is my organization capable and ready enough to sort out that, right? So that aspects has to be discussed, and then you should do, and RBI is also mandated for biannual DR drills for critical applications. Now most of us do annual drills, right? Nowadays biannual drills are required. So tabletop exercise, incident management playbook, that has to be evolving and kept updated to the recent types of attacks. Yesterday we saw Nayara Microsoft. They pulled the plug over the night. Entire company shut down. Nobody expected that to happen. EU law for GDPR, they had an non-compliance, but a company based out of India, completely authorized by India, they're following all the laws. They have pulled the plug from Microsoft. And they're facing all the hurdles, right? Entire Outlook, Teams, O365 is completely down. Whom do we go and ask? So CSPs have become like DSPs, right? They are policing us. So they have a lot of authority. That's the reason you need to have all the contractual languages intact, right? What are your penalty clauses? What are your force majeure clauses? So it's at that point, if you get them on your board and bring under your control, resilience will not be a bigger question. And the ongoing monitoring will be very, very important. So these are the aspects: risk management, incident management playbook, your tabletop exercises, and contractual clauses. They're tightening areas where you have to focus on.
Fantastic. Well said.
Adding to that, awareness play a major role into this.
That's right. Yeah, we left that. Yes.
Exactly.
One more
Because-
point is that we have to add as a KPI for all the teammates, not for
So the
security.
awareness starts from, it's not that a business justification or decision should be a top-down approach. And awareness, a security awareness should be a top-down approach. So it starts from the board level till the end users level.
That's right. No matter how many security devices and security controls we have, the most vulnerable thing is humans, right?
Yes.
So that's the place where every organization falls, because even a single click, boom, that's it. We can end up with any kind of attack, right?
We are seeing second instance that DBS can do anything, right? You saw one in insurance company and another one in an NBFC. Both the same similar kind of disgruntled employee having super admin access, no traces, logs can be deleted, whatnot.
Undoubtedly, the awareness plays very vital role to the employees. Right?
That's where the real-time monitoring comes in place. When we have SIM solutions and then UBA bigger based analysis we have in place, we can able to see that whatever has happened, we can able to see as a recording video what they done it for us.
Yes, yeah,
that's a DAM and then SIM solution supporting for us.
Especially the phishing emails. People should every organization, every employee should aware of the clicking on unknown emails. What is the consequence clicking on unknown links? What will happen? So the awareness is pretty much important to all the employees, right?
I think similarly, customer awareness is also very important so that their hard-earned money is safe, right? They don't click on they don't fall in the trap of the spammers or any phishing attack.
Correct. So organizations are spending millions of budget, especially in awareness, and if that is not reaching to the bottom level, then there is no use of it. Correct. So my next question to you, Lydia, is how can NBFCs leverage cloud platforms to achieve both operational agility and strong security postures?
Yeah, definitely. I think very relevant. So I think the core of any business is agility, right? So I believe there are three principles for any business, right? So agility, speed, and scale, right? And all three can be achieved through cloud is how we know it. So agility, cloud, any implementation cloud is definitely agile, but we need to ensure sufficient controls around that implementation, and that's where cybersecurity comes into picture. So it's very important that organizations, NBFCs, keep up with the ever-evolving threat vectors, and also they should have a business continuity plan and resilience in case of any unforeseen cyber attack. So let's speak a little bit about speed and agility first. So earlier we used to take personal loans. The process we used to take maybe more than a week. Now it's a matter of a few minutes. So all these processes are only possible since we have agile platforms implemented. At the same time, it becomes really important that we do all sorts of checks and we ensure continuous monitoring, real-time checks, because cloud is one platform who can almost do real-time checks, update servers, update business services, right? So so it's very important role that they play. For example, DigiLocker, right? So you can sign 10 documents in just few clicks in DigiLocker. So things have moved very fast. Business can scale using cloud. At the same time, they have to ensure sufficient security of the customer data.
That's why when we are talking about cloud adoption transformation, right? Because if you see every 3 years once, we are saying some of the transformations in our end. If you know 2019, people don't know about cloud transformation. Everybody stay with that hybrid, like in-house data centers. After that, the COVID comes, the people's strength is not able to place there. So every NBFC, ABFSI, everybody's changed to move to cloud. Now after the cloud transformation, now AI and ML comes. Now we are talking about agentic AI. So this transformation keep on coming there. So in this transformation, if you see parallel lineup is security. So whenever we are saying cloud adoption, cloud transformation, security and cloud adoption is transformation, both are in same speed, we have to manage it. Both are in the same scale, we have to manage and we have to drive the show.
That's right, because that is just because, things are evolving, changing, right? And the technology, what is speaking, we are right now here, the artificial intelligence and AI, ML, maybe in future that will get outdated, right? So, my question to you, Saravanakumar sir, like what specific cybersecurity measures you are taking to protect, investors and borrowing data in marketplaces in terms of organization I'm talking about?
Yeah. Okay, as I quoted earlier, so we follow one of the few NBFCs in the country where we fall under SEBI and as well as RBI. We do the business at the lending the loans and as well as we part of the marketplace also. So the asset management and the capitals were part of the both the regulatories. So we bring up the regulatories as one of the key Bible for us and adapting these controls, and we will segregate all the data. So the data segregations play a major role in this. So the borrowers and the investors, the data needs to be first segregate into that. And apart from that, how we are encrypting that and storing it. So some of them already spoke about the encryption part. And next is the most on the access part. How privilegedly we have to be secure that one. The privilege part, the privilege access management part play a very crucial role on when we are running a two different set of an application under one umbrella of the technology. So the access role and how we are role-based access we are giving into this one. And moreover, it's more how we are micro-segmenting the data, which is where the regulatory keenly looking into this. When we have a RBI kind of a thing and a SEBI, what is the continuous process you are putting into this and how the data are continuously we are segregating it. And the last but not the least is managing the vulnerabilities. So when we develop the applications for the different set of the business model, so the vulnerability play a very crucial role. So from the day one, we'll be not going into the marketplace. So we'll be more on doing a B2B segment kind of a business. So the exposure level of the applications, when it is within the B2B, it's in a different level of a score rate. When it is going to and completely a B2C, so many of them would have been developed the controls. So what the standpoint we have taken is either a B2B or a B2C. We should have holistically have a security controls in place and address all level of the securities. So technology and the security should be in hand to hand. So there should not be any lag in that. When a technology develops and they come into the life, then the security controls are started developing and deploying. Then there is no use of bringing the effectiveness of the controls. So the effectiveness of the controls should start from coding level onwards. We set up the cybersecurity controls at the coding level, and we set up already the cybersecurity controls at the application level, which are all already there in the internet. So apart from that, overall the brand is very important. So the organization which you works, the brand is the main reputation. So what are the business you do? What are the way your operating model? So we have to, the today's technology world is, we are heading towards how we are protecting your brand protection. So which is where the dark web is eyeing. Every day there is a new set of domains are getting created. Like we have found in our past, like Vivriti Capital itself, with a spell down of mistakes, there are 10 fake domains has been created. How we can take down those things and all. Those are the current challenges for us. So 24/7, 365, we need to protect the reputation of the organization by brand protections and how our data are getting easily to the leakage to the dark web. That can be addressed only with an awareness of an internal employees awareness. And the last thing is how we holistically protect with the reference of the Bible of the regulatories.
Fantastic.
Exactly. So before encryption, I think it's not just important to encrypt the data while transiting to a platform, but also when it's sitting at one platform, like when data is at rest, it's very important to ensure data is encrypted. Also, SIEM integration for real-time monitoring, threat monitoring, and containerized workloads is another point I think which I would want to highlight on this.
So you used two words like the visibility and the adoption, right? So when it comes to security, the visibility is more important. You should have the bird view of your organization, the 360-degree visibility, what traffic comes in and what traffic goes out, right? It is not possible when you don't have that the 360 degree of visibility, right? And the adoption, yes, that is very important. Every organization that should adopt to the latest advanced technology tools, right? If you don't adopt to this the latest advanced technology, then you will be adopted by the one who is already implemented. That's what happening in the current stage now. And yeah, my question to you, Srinivasan, like how do you ensure alignment between the internal security controls and external compliance audit, okay? Especially when it comes to complex hybrid cloud environment.
Yeah. Internal compliance is two factors. One is your regulatory audits or audits in nature. Next, second one is a breach attack. Don't wait for the breach to happen. Don't wait for your audit reports to come out saying you're not good. Be proactive in nature and have some proactive controls implemented. Right? It's not you have to show your sorry face. You okay? I have undergone a breach. I'll try to correct my mistakes now and do all the automations. It's not a way you realize and do investment. Right? It should be proactive in nature. And another one is set the tone at the top. It's a top-down approach. When the culture is set at the top as part of your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then it drives your organization where you want to stay focused on that manner. So that is the second most important thing. And even the phishing example which we discussed earlier, right? The outcome should be like a person when clicking on a phishing email, the trigger alert gets to the SOC, so SOC tool. SOC will quarantine your laptop or the desktop. It will lock your laptop. It will indicate or notify his or her manager, and then your action stops there. Then you learn the behavior and implement that activity again. So next employee will not do that mistake. But today, what happens? You click on the phishing email, do the training again, you are done. Right? You are still allowed to do the same mistake also again. Nobody's going to stop you. So that security should be your basic parameter in every employee's performance appraisal. So everybody will be equally burdened, then they are responsible enough to act on their actions what they take. When you join an organization, you will have acceptable usage policy, NDAs, everything is signed, but who reads it? Right? You have to customize it enough to show your employees that this is what it is. Make it interesting.
Because now the security is CISO. Security, it's not just belongs to CISO. Security is everybody's responsibility now.
Yeah.
Right.
I would like to provide one more example. Thanks, sir. So a lot of organizations has made managing security for employees at the personal level. So what they have done, they have integrated multi-factor authentication in their personal devices, in their personal mobile phones. So that gives them the sense and the awareness that they have to integrate this kind of function technology. They have to be aware of any threats to their personal data, and that's how they ensure they can protect the customer data as well, and they can protect the company data as well.
All right, Nagarjun, I just want to end up with you. Okay.
That's why.
Must
Can I
be
continue
short
with the
and
same point?
sweet.
Can I continue with the add up with the same point?
Yeah.
Like now when we are saying, right, cyber security threats, so we have to trial it with red teaming and blue teaming exists regular intervals. When we are doing these activities, everybody will comes in the lineup that leadership team also come to know what kind of attacks can be comes to us. When we are doing red teaming, it will be give a clear visibility and transparency to the leadership team. They don't be in a resistance mode for us. Because when we are going with some of the approvals or some of the security tools, the first resistance will be what's out of it. So that time we can easily state when we are doing red teaming, we can say these are the flaws are there. With these flaws, with this is the solution, we can bring it back. So for that, we need a security assessment and simulations have to be done on every quarterly basis. So this is the policy, we have to framework, we have to adhere this policy on all the companies so we can easily cakewalk the cyber security in place.
Wonderful. Thank you, Tim. As we have been informed, you have to finish it on time. Okay, it's already.
One last quote before finishing this.
Yeah, please.
As today we had almost 6-7 paneling and a lot of fireside chats happen. I request the Elets team also not to consider security as the least priority. So today we have been almost at the end of the session.
Yeah, that's right. Because every organization, the base of the organization stands on the security. We should not forget that, right? And the reality is many organizations still accept, many risk points because of the cost, correct? So we have to consider all these things.
First, resource comes second, profit comes third, security comes last.
No, at the same time, the security also, puts hands together and, go to with the business.
It is one domain that applies to all companies, all businesses, everywhere.
Right. Okay. Thank you. It was very interesting, Tim. Thank you.